Hey there, welcome to the Traveling Homesteader and Gyroscope Farm. I'm Kathy, and I have a bit of an announcement today, and I'm really kind of excited about it. So, over the past couple of years, I've been compiling and putting together a bit of an interactive ebook on self reliance. And so now, this personal resource book I have is available to all of you in case you're interested in how I kind of put together being self reliant. Now, when we go over being self reliant, I try to cover 5 different areas: education, finance, food storage, emergency preparedness, gardening, and CSAs. And this self reliance ebook allows you to go through at your own pace, looking in greater depth on each of these areas. And so we're going to go over what the book looks like right now, just so you have an opportunity to see kind of what it's like. So as you open up this file, you'll see on the left-hand side a menu bar of each of the pages of this book. And as an introduction, there's a little piece about me, what I define self-reliance as, and then it goes into the first part of financing after kind of an overlook of what you can study. And on any given link, you can click on. In this case, I'll click on a link to an article that goes right to what does financially self-sufficient mean. And so you could read this article and check out what it actually means to be financially self-reliant. We talk about income, debit, savings, or debt, I should say. But then you can go to the next item, which is a YouTube channel feature. And you can check out this particular YouTube content on what it means to be financially self-reliant. In this case, this woman speaks on what it was like for her to not have a job and what it meant to go from being a high-end, high-paying person to then not having a job. And so she brings up some very interesting points as well. So then as we go through the book, you can see that there's some other things you can check on. Maybe budgeting. So this article offers you some budgeting tips. So with each different item, you can go in and find some different ways to help yourself be better, in this case, in budgeting, even some different apps you can use. And I try to offer in each section some homework, as you can note, so that you have the opportunity to think over some things in your home on what you can do. But you can also find just areas to think on. And in this case, education is the next step. And you can find some different ways to be educated. So 10 emerging skills for education or for work allows you to think about how you can become educated to get a better job. And some of them can be very basic or can be more extensive. But you can also go to places like Instructables, as I point out here, where you can learn how to make and do different things. You can check out some of the contests where people are making different things to have different opportunities for you to not only learn but share what you know. So that's the cool thing about Instructables. It's twofold. And in this case, this is an example of how to make kites. So you can go and check on this particular tetrahedral kite and how to make that kite. And in this case, they go step by step, pictures and instructions on how to make this particular kite. And sometimes they even offer a link to their YouTube channel and how to make it through a video. Now coming back to the book, you can see that there's also some other ways to go into different applications or even finding out if going to school is right for you, if going to trade school or college is right for you. So this is something that's really important for you to sit down and look at if you're deciding whether or not to go to school, or if you have children that want to go to college, and maybe looking at what their skills are and what they want to do with their lives. Maybe they want to be a doctor in which case they want to be going to a certain type of school. Or maybe they want to go in and do um, nursing. Or maybe there's an opportunity for them to be a welder. Different programs are at different types of schools. But then there's emergency preparedness. And this section offers a couple of different opportunities for you to look at apps and kits and how to make different things. One thing I found was this Boy Scout Emergency Preparedness Merit Badge, which I thought was very helpful to look at in different ways, and it goes into great depth on how to actually prepare for an emergency. So that's why I included this particular one for you to look at, despite the fact that most of us probably are not going to be Boy Scouts. Then we can also look at different podcasts, and in this case, this particular podcast was really good about um, how to be just prepared in different ways. And the Practical Prepper was a really helpful site to go to or podcast to listen to, especially for someone who's actually done this a little bit. So they gave some really good ideas. Now, this particular link, and as with some of the others that you could check out here, this was a Jefferson County Family Emergency Preparedness Handbook. The Jefferson County had decided to put together this particular information guide to help the people in their county actually plan so that they were better off in the long run. So as you can see, they asked people to be prepared for a minimum of 72 hours, although it could be for longer or shorter that these emergencies take place. So this was a really great guide to look over and see that you may want to examine yourself. And as you can see in each of these areas, there are other things that I'm not going over that you can click on, different links that you can go to. And I hope to have some things like these infographics that would be there to help you, in this case, learn a little bit more about food storage. So you can have just a flash guide to check out, but also how to keep things uh, prepared in different ways. In this case, in the freezer or in your refrigerator. So different things can be kept in different temperatures. And there's also different opportunities for you to check out other things that you can store. So with each of these interactive points, you can see and look into more ways to prepare. In this case, create your own emergency preparedness and food storage. This particular binder actually gave a lot of good information. And again, there's homework that you can prepare yourself and think on making ahead meals that are either for the week or for long term. In this case, I've actually done these meal in jars, which are very helpful too. And then we go on to the gardening and CSAs section. And then this actually is in a section that kind of gives a little bit more explaining to gardening and CSAs being community supported agriculture. And this goes into a little bit different way of how to support your community, even though you're trying to be self-reliant, help yourself. So in this case, what is community supported agriculture? This goes into a great explanation of how to support and what it is to be part of a CSA. Something else that is also very helpful that's shown here is this U.S. map of growing zones that you can see, depending on where you live, what would be good to grow at what times of year. This section also offers you different methods of growing, like hydroponic gardening or traditional in the ground methods or even raised beds. But there's also an opportunity for you to see in different links in this section on how to grow food in your area. And so using something like the extension service that's local to you and the USDA websites, you can see just kind of what is good in your area. And so you can be more specific. If you're in Connecticut, it may be different than what I have in Oregon or in Arizona or in Florida. As with other sections in the book, this section ends with some other information that you can check out at these various links. But at the end of the book, you have some other resources that weren't included, as well as a final project option that you can choose how to use the skills that you've learned in this class in 4 different options of a final project. So thanks for coming and checking out this book, and the link will be located below. And make sure to check out gyroscopefarm.com. And thanks for coming again to see this video from the Traveling Homesteader. Hope you have a great day.